Okay, well, I've moved to a new computer, and it doesn't have Adobe Premiere on it yet, so for this episode, which I guess you could consider a filler, seeing as March is almost here, and I haven't made a review since January, I'm going to be back in WMM and just recording my voice. I don't think Windows Movie Maker can even read the files that my video camera uses, and it probably can't rip from DVDs either, so here's my video-free picture show of a review of Modern Warfare 2. And those are going to sound like a really, really bad zero punctuation episode. Modern Warfare 2 is a hugely marketed game release, which is much different from the previous games, which were all based in World War II, except, of course, for the fourth one, which I never actually got around to playing. In fact, the only Call of Duty game that I was interested before the most recent release is Call of Duty 2. Actually, I got made fun of quite a bit for owning the game, and not World at War. The only three things you really need to look at in any sort of a review are the single player, the multiplayer, and the fan base behind it. First thing to look at is the single player. The single player mode starts you right off with the disclaimer at the beginning that tells you that some parts of the single player mode are pretty disturbing. Unless you haven't really paid attention to video game news or even regular news, you might have noticed the controversy that spawned from level 3, a level in which you run through a Russian airport with some terrorists killing the innocent people. They're standing there in the airport. I guess you're undercover or something. I didn't play the level, though. I chose not to. It made me feel... The level sort of feels immature about how, people approach it with the same glee that a child would have in his backyard killing snails. The rest of the story mode, though, was pretty good, despite a few glaring plot holes. The fact that the Russians are the villains, because I thought we sort of cleaned that up with the United Nations and whatnot. They even pulled the whole betrayal thing where the guy you trust kills you later in the game. 3 people you'll play as are a guy named Ramirez, Roach, and Soap. Pretty interesting names there. But anyway, the characters that you play as are the only people who took basic training, because they're the only people who can shoot the bombs, plant the bombs, defuse the bombs, shoot down enemy planes, shoot down enemy political figures, direct missiles from a plane, or use that laser thingy that tells where some explodey thing goes. They pretty much just shoot their guns at nothing and shout words of encouragement. But in all, it was an okay story, and I enjoyed it. I liked playing it. I kept coming back to it. It was very short, though. QuickTime event at the end was a little dumb and unnecessary, and I don't even think it was that much of a QuickTime event, but it definitely reminded me of one. Also, how did you get stabbed and survive? Because in the multiplayer, stabbing people is an instant kill. Speaking of multiplayer, the 2 modes are deathmatch type multiplayer and the repackaged single player mode that is known as Special Ops. I have it on Xbox 360, which probably was the correct choice to buy because it's got, the dedicated servers, unlike the PC one, which apparently is hard to navigate and choose a game. But the negative part of choosing to go to the Microsoft route is that microphone headsets come with the Xbox. That means nobody ever shuts up. They've all got microphones. Some people aren't even nice enough to turn it off when they're talking to someone else in the room. And some people are nice, some people just don't talk, but everyone else seems to be a racist, homophobic person who never shuts up about how terrible everyone that isn't them is in the game. Aside from the people, the gameplay is also horribly unbalanced. The kill streak rewards are sometimes completely unstoppable. Like the AC-130 and the nuke, and the chopper gunner to a certain extent. And some guns are overpowered. The knife gets a one-hit kill. The one other thing that pisses me off is the riot shield. The riot shield, it's a mostly defensive weapon with an incredibly overpowered offensive attack, where you hit someone twice with it and they die. I'm pretty sure sheets of plastic don't work that way. The only other mode is the Special Ops, which is essentially story mode except repackaged. Third, however, is its fan base and the public reaction to Call of Duty 6 being released. I hate this game. I hate what it did to my school. I hate the name of the game. I just hear it all the time. Hey, playing COD this weekend? COD, or if you really do see Mod 2, echoes through my entire school, and I seriously can't take it. There are people who have serious conversations about which gun is better, in depth. It's like something the nerd kids will do about the Zelda continuity, except these people are on the football team. It makes me upset. I hate this place. I know people who believe that they know a bunch of guns. They know all about them, like what has recoil and all that, just from COD. And that just makes me... I don't know why it makes me upset, but sort of seems like it's taken over. And remember back when only the cool kids didn't play video games, and now all of the popular people play video games more than, like, whatever they used to do before video games. So yeah, that's the problem with the fan base. Yep, that's Call of Duty for you. It's a good enough game, basic-wise, like the gun, controlling the gun and shooting the bullets works really well, and it's probably the best I've seen it in a video game in a long time. But there are just a couple key problems with it. I won't give it a score, or yes, I will give it a score. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, because it was pretty good. And you will enjoy playing it. The multiplayer is a little bit grindy, though, and you're going to get addicted, maybe, because you're trying to get to level 70, and so you can prestige again and again and again, and yeah. That's my entire opinion about the game. Thank you for watching. That's it.